Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this short bubu gown with drawstring. If this is your first time seeing my video, you're welcome. Make sure you don't skip any part of this video and also watch till the end so that you can learn one or two things. At the end of this tutorial, if you find my tutorial helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, I have 2.5 years of African print that I'll be using for this tutorial. I also have this half yard of dog face satin that I'll be using for the combination. I'll be cutting the front and back at the same time. So I'll fold the 2.5 yards into 2 equal parts. After folding it into 2 equal parts, I'll fold it again, making it into 4 folds. After folding it like so, I will start placing her measurements. I will first of all mark half of her shoulder width, which is 7 inches for my client. After marking the shoulder width, I will determine her sleeve length. From this point I mark her shoulder width, I will place her sleeve length. I want to use 12 inches for her sleeve length, but because I'm adding a band of 2 inches on the sleeve, so I will be minusing 2 inches from the sleeve length. So I mark 10 inches for the sleeve length. I'll add ½ inch that I'll be using to join the band. On this point where the sleeve length stopped, I'll be coming down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. I will slant it to the shoulder width. To mark her arm opening, I'll come down from this shoulder slant to her bust point. Her bust point is 9.5 inches. I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance, which is 10.5. I'll mark it like so. So from this top part, I'll mark her waistline, which is 16.5. I'll mark from the shoulder to the hip line, which is 26 inches, and the full length of the gown is 38. But I'll be adding a band of 3 inches at the hem of the gown, so I'll be removing 3 inches from the 38 inches. I have 35. I'll mark ½ inch that I'll be using to join the band. I'll now roll it straight. So I'll be using the biggest part of the body measurement to determine how free I want the dress to be. So on the hip line, I'll be placing quarter of her round hip measurement, divide the hip by 4. After that, I will add extra 5 inches to it. 4 inches is the allowance and 1 inch is for sewing allowance. If I measure the total of what I have here, I have 15 inches. So I'll place the 15 inches on the waistline. I'll also place it on the full length of the gown. I'll connect it with a straight line. To curve the armhole, I'll come out by 1 inch at this corner and I'll curve it the way you see me doing. I'll mark 3.5 inches for the front and back neck width. And for the back neck depth, I'll mark 1.5. I won't be marking the front neck depth now. It's after cutting the back neck depth. I will separate it and work on the front part. I'll cut the back neck depth. After cutting it, I'll remove the back part so that I can work on the front part. This is the back. I'll set it aside. So I'll go ahead and fold the front part back. Fold it back the way you see me doing. After that, I will now determine the neck depth. I use 9.5 inches for the neck depth. I'll mark it. Because I'll be adding a band of 1 inch on the neckline, I'll be removing the 1 inch from the actual neck width. So I'll mark 1 inch here. This 1 inch, I'll be replacing it with a band. On the neck depth, I'll be coming out by ½ inch. After marking the ½ inch, I'll connect the V neckline. I'm making a scrub neckline. That's why I'm cutting it out this way. I'll slant the V neckline the way you see me doing. I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, you have something like this. Can you see the neckline? The neckline is like square here. So I've gone ahead to cut the back facing. I use my black satin to cut the facing. I've ironed my interface on it to stabilize it. I use a soft comb-stay to iron on it. So you cut your you fold your fabric into two and you place your material. You trace out the facing. Alright, so I'll go and fold it like so. After that, I'll use it to turn the neckline. For the front part, I have cut out the band that I'll be using for the scrub neckline. So the width of the band is 3 inches. If I put it on fold, I'll be having 1.5 inches. You know, I remove 1 inch from the neck width. I have 1.5 inches. After folding it into two, 1 inch is for the one that I remove on the neckline, and the 1/2 inch is the one that I'll be using to sew it. So I cut out 2. This is for this side. So for the length, I measure what I have on the neckline. Whatever you have on your neck depth, add extra 4 inches to it. That's the length I have on my band, 14 inches. Before you attach it on the neckline, you make sure you press it down. After pressing it down, I will place it like so. I'll be sewing with 1/2 inch. I'll stop my sewing 1/2 inch below the neck depth. So I'll be marking how I will be sewing it. This is the 1/2 inch. And I will stop my sewing 1/2 inch below the neck depth here. So I will do the same thing on this side. This is where the neck depth stop, and you stop your stitching 1/2 inch below the neck depth. So before I sew, I will first of all put this paper stay below the neck depth so that it will stay in place. Just a small piece of paper stay. You iron it down the way you see me doing. After ironing it, I'll go ahead and sew the band on the neckline. This is what I have after sewing the band. Can you see? I remove my pins. I stop my stitching 1/2 inch below the neck depth. Can you see what I have there? I'm opening it up so that you can see where I stop my stitches. So I will make a notch like this. Can you see how I place my hand slanted? You make a notch and you stop where your stitches stopped. Can you see what I'm doing? So this is how it will look like. After making a notch, I will flip it to the wrong side the way you see me doing. Just turn it like so. Can you see? This is the scrub neckline. This is how the wrong side looks like. You arrange it the way you see me doing. So I'll make sure I iron it properly. After ironing it, I will now hold these two together this way. I'll go and make a stitch on this part. Can you see? After stitching it, this is how it will look like. Can you see the stitch I make under here? This is just to hold the band together. Can you see that? So the next thing I'll be doing now is to iron my hemming gum under this part. Just put your hemming gum, but make sure you weave it before inserting your hemming gum under it. Weave it. I'll be doing that later. So I've also turned the back neckline with facing. You make sure you notch the neckline like this. Make a notch so that if you turn it, it will relax very well. So I'll go ahead and iron it properly. After ironing it, the next thing is to join the front and back together. But before I join the front and back together, I'll first of all attach the band on the hemline. The width of the band is what I have on the down part of the fabric, and the length is 7 inches. I removed 3 inches on the hemline of the dress when I was cutting it. So if I fold it, I have 3.5 inches. 3 inches is for the band and 1/2 inch is for joining. I ironed a paper stay on the band to stabilize it. I'll go and join it with 1/2 inch. I'll also repeat the same thing on the back part. After joining it, I will open up the seam and iron it properly. I have my back part here. I'll be weaving this part. But make sure you open press and iron very well before you weave it. So the next thing now is to join the front and back. So I will place it like so. I'll put the front part on the facing this way. I want to use the back facing to cover the front. So after arranging, I'll sew with half inch. I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'll sew it and I'll come back and show you. This is what I have after I was done sewing it. I will arrange it the way you see me doing. Just fix your eyes on the screen. You understand what I'm doing. So iron it down. You can insert your iron go inside so that the facing can stick on the fabric. Can you see what I have? So after ironing the shoulder part, I'll measure what I have on this part. That's the sleeve length for the front and back. So the length I have here is what I'll be using to cut out the band. The band length is what I have on the sleeve length, and for the width I have 5 inches. If you put it on fold, you have 2.5 inches. The 2 inches is what I remove on the sleeve length, and the half inch is what I'll be using to join it. That's why I have 2.5 inches here. I'll go and join it like so. I'll repeat the same thing on the other sleeve. After joining it, this is what I have. Can you see that? I'll iron it properly. So after ironing it, I will arrange it. I want to shape the both side. For the sleeve area, I'll be using half inch to sew it. So when I enter the body side, I will continue with 1 inch. For the people that will ask the reason why I'm using half inch to shape the sleeve, this is because I added 1 inch for ease when I was marking the arm opening. Added 1 inch for sewing allowance, so I've used half inch to join the shoulder. So I will use the remaining half inch to close the sleeve area. This is what I have after I was done. Can you see that? I also gone ahead to weave it. I weave it separate because I'll be attaching a pocket on it. As you can see, I did not weave the both seam together. I've also gone ahead to weave the neck area and the sleeve. Just make sure you weave it before putting the drawstring. When you are making this for your client, you have to make your work neat. Unless you are making it for yourself, you can ignore the weaving part. The next thing is to attach the drawstring. So I've marked where I want to attach the drawstring. I measure from the shoulder to the half length, which is 16.5 inches. That's where I'll be inserting the drawstring. I cut a strap of 2 inches. So I folded half inch on the both end. After folding it, I have 1 inch. This will serve as the casing where my rope will be passing through. So I have 1 inch. To determine the length of the casing, you measure what you have from the center here round the dress. You can measure the total of what you have on the front and measure the total of what you have at the back. Then you add it together. You add 1 inch that you'll be using for folding allowance. When I measure the total of what I have here, I add about 55 inches. Then I added 1 inch for folding. This line you are seeing on my fabric is where I'll be placing the casing. So I extended the line to the back part, or you can just turn it to the back and measure from the shoulder to your half length, and also mark a straight line. It will guide you when you want to place the casing so that it will be equal with the back part. I will also determine the center of the front part. So from the center, I will come in by 1 inch, and to the other side I will come out by 1 inch. So I will place the casing on this 1 inch. You fold your casing this way and you place it on this 1 inch here. I will make sure I use my pin to hold it down. Pin it before you start sewing. I'll go to my sewing machine now to show you how you can sew it. So you open your fabric up from the neckline. You insert it like so. This is a free gown, so it will be very easy for you to sew. Open it up this way. Make sure that no fabric is obstructing where you are sewing. You just shift it the way you see me doing. So I will sew one edge first. I'll sew it like so. My casing is on the line that I mark on the waistline. That's why I mark it so that it will be easy for me. Can you see how I'm sewing it? I'll first of all sew one edge before sewing the other edge. If you get to the front, you fold it with 1/2 inch and secure it with a double stitch, and that 1 inch you came out from the center front. That's where you store. So after that, I will turn it to the other side. I want to sew the other edge. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'll finish it off camera now, and I will come and show you the next thing to do. I'm done sewing it. Before I insert the rope on the casing, I will be attaching my pocket. From where I place my casing, I'll come down by 1 inch. That's where my pocket hole will start. So I've already opened it up with my seam ripper. I'll be attaching my pocket there. So I've sewn my pocket round. The length of my pocket is 8 inches. So after sewing it round, I have about 6 inches left. So I open my fabric up to that 6 inches and I back stitch on the both end. After that, I'll place my pocket like so. I have several tutorials on how to sew a pocket, so you can watch all of my tutorial. Can you see? I'm done attaching my pocket. This is how it looks like. Can you see what I have? So for the rope, I make a tiny rope. You can use any method to sew your rope. So I'll be attaching it on the casing. The length of the rope is 55 inches plus 2 inches. I use the length of the casing to cut the rope. That's what I use for the rope. And this is how I folded my rope. I cut out 2 inches piece of fabric and I fold it like so. I fold it again and I run a stitch on top of it. Just use any method to sew your rope and make sure that the rope is very tiny. So after sewing the rope, I will now use my safety pin to insert it on the casing. I'll go ahead and use my safety pin to hook the rope. After that, I will now insert it on the casing the way you see me doing. Please, if you find my tutorial helpful, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so that when I post another video, you get notified. So I will bring the rope out. Can you see what I have? Make sure you arrange it so that the rope can be equal. Can you see what I have right there? It came out looking very beautiful. Can you see that?